What's up everyone, so I am in Budapest, Hungary, and this video is specifically going to be showing you all of the different memorials and monuments throughout the entire city, because Hungary is very fascinating politically and how it stands in relations with the rest of Europe as well as the entire world, because currently Hungary is moving further and further to the right. We see Viktor Orban's regime restricting things within education, within personal freedoms, within freedom of the media, and to be able to report what is factually accurate. And also, there's a narrative with them recently erecting monuments to try to rewrite history in a way that frames Hungary as the good guys. And there's a lot. I'm right outside the Soviet War monument. There are other memorials that try to claim that Germany came and conquered Hungary, and that was the only reason why Hungary was part of the Central Powers, because they were forced to, which isn't historically accurate at all. But there is so many different things within here that the government has put up, trying to form a narrative. Is it propaganda? Like, honestly, in a way, you can argue that it is, but there is so much. So let's get into it now. So right behind me is the Shoes of the Danube Memorial. This was created in 2005, and the history behind it is actually really sad. So Hungarian Jews were persecuted during the Second World War. The Holocaust did take place here. The fascist government not only helped Nazi Germany, but was also a large part in exterminating Jews themselves. The Arrow Cross Party, which was a political party, the fascist party during the Second World War here in Hungary, they took many Jewish people literally right to this ledge, ordered them to take off their shoes, and they shot at them point blank so that their bodies would fall into the water and their corpses would just flow into the Danube for them never to be seen again. So that is what this monument is representing, how it's the shoes, representing the shoes that they had to take off. And yeah, here's the German occupation memorial, and it has sparked a lot of controversy since it has been erected in 2014. It shows the Archangel Gabriel, who is being attacked by the German eagle. And what the Hungarian government is trying to put forward, the narrative, is saying that, hey, during World War II, Germany came and conquered our land, and this is what happened and why we were such a center point for the Central Powers during World War II. We actually did not comply with Germany, but we were forced to, which is very much not even close to being historically accurate. Hungary was very, very important in helping German forces, helping the Nazis, especially in the expulsion and massacre of millions of Jewish people. And here in front, there is actually like a counter memorial that has been put up, which shows the story of Hungarian influence in World War II, and specifically relating to the Holocaust and the atrocities there. They have posters in many different languages: English, Hebrew, Spanish, Croatian, just so many more. So everybody who visits here can understand and learn the true story of what happened. It really shows a recurring theme in the Hungarian illiberal autocracy, in that the government narrative that is put out is very historically inaccurate. Here is the Soviet War Memorial, and it is very interesting because it is to celebrate the Soviet soldiers who lost their lives when the USSR came into Budapest in 1945 to free themselves from the Nazi occupation. But it brings up tension because during the Hungarian Revolution that tried to take place in 1956, it was the Soviets who helped suppress it. And also the ties with the European Union and present-day Russia. Obviously, there is strict tension, and the EU has come down hard on Russia with sanctions because of the war in Ukraine. But Hungary has been that thorn in the EU side because Hungary still wants the resources and gas to be coming in from Russia, and they have tried to make the EU a little bit softer on those policies. So yeah, it brings up great tension. What do you do in the present day, as well as the fact that many of these memorials, it's not like this memorial was put up immediately after the Soviets came in to stop Nazi occupation. These memorials put up by the government really recently. And this is all right now. I'm in Liberty Square right now, which is a nice little park, you know, cafe in the middle, but there are monuments all throughout. If you want to see all of the government propagated monuments, then here is a good spot to start, because there are literally like 7 of them within a like 3-minute walk. Here's the Mihaily Vorosmarty Memorial. He was born in 1800 and died in 1855. He was very influential when it comes to Hungarian literature and nationalist influence. He wrote many poems, very pro-military, very pro-Hungarian, and here you have the statue here in the center of the square, one of the squares, and the reason why it is put up is probably, many would argue, that's from the Hungarian government to preserve the historic nationalist identities and show that Hungary has always been a place of a strong identity. Here's a monument for the revolutionaries of 1848, and this was when those in Hungary tried to form a revolution to overthrow the rule of the Habsburg Empire. This was ultimately suppressed and put down by the Habsburg and Austrian forces, but it still represents national pride of Hungarian people claiming their land and really showcasing their true fight. Here's a statue of Harry Hill Bandholtz, who was a general of the U.S. Army and was here during the occupation during the post-World War I era by the Allied forces to help rebuild Hungary. There was a situation where the Romanians tried to come in and literally try to like loot the Hungarian National Museum, and he helped thwart that attack, and it represents a symbol of Hungarian self-preservation, self-determination, and just a symbol of national pride and thankfulness and gratitude to the great American. It's not like there's just him. There are actually 2 American presidents that have statues here in Freedom Square. So yeah, gratitude towards Americans. Let's see who they are. Here's George Bush. It's Bush Sr. He was the 41st president of the United States, and in 1989, when he came to visit here, he became the first ever sitting president to visit Hungary. He was a key figure in helping Hungary transition to a democracy at the end of the Cold War, and they have a monument here that was erected in 2020 after he passed away in 2018 to thank him for what he did. Second statue of a former U.S. president right here, Ronald Reagan. He was the 40th president of the U.S., and while he never visited Hungary, he played an instrumental role in ending the Cold War. In the end, with the monument, I mean, it's really interesting that the way the government here in Viktor Orban's regime has really attacked the personal freedoms of those in the media. They have gone after many different groups, and the monuments that have been put up are, people say it's propaganda. I would not go that far, but it's definitely Orban's regime trying to shift the narrative of throughout history as well as the Hungarian state today. And overall, it's just, I think, really fascinating to think about. But Orban remains popular in Hungary. If the people here are happy with their political leaders, I don't think it's my responsibility as an outsider to come in and say, oh, we need to make these changes.